What's going on, Unfazed crew? So now it's time for another edition of Unfazed Weekly Cinema.
What's going on, NOX fans? We're at the movies.
Today we're going to see, or tonight I should say, we're going to see Conan the Barbarian, 1982 John Milius film starring the great Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this was actually written by John Milius and Oliver Stone. Fun fact.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is like Arnold had done Pumping Iron, Stay Hungry, and the really, really incredibly cheesy Hercules in New York, where they did like a dub over his voice. But this was Arnold's first like real
feature film,
where he actually got to branch out as an actor. He got to show his acting chops, and he got to really be an action hero, because before that, you know, he kind of dabbled a tiny bit, but this is his first real big movie and his first real big action movie.
Yeah, and it spawned a sequel.
It did, Conan the Destroyer, which was actually the first Arnold movie. Actually, might have been the second Arnold movie I ever saw. I think the first one I ever saw was the first Terminator. Then came Conan the Destroyer.
Really?
And then came, you know, I think
mine was
probably
Predator, I believe.
Oh, Predator?
I think Predator was the first.
Predator was up there, still a favorite. So you've never seen this?
Never seen this. I remember it being on TV, and that's about it. Like, I've seen scenes of it, and
You've
I'm
seen
like,
snippets?
Snippets, yeah. It's funny that you said that. I was thinking of that word. Snippets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on our wavelength a lot lately.
We are on the wavelength. Should we talk about the wavelength a little bit?
Let's talk about the wavelength.
You kick it off, and then I'll chime in here and there.
I think in just general, like with our latest video for NOX, we did the Amy Schumer and Tiffany Haddish, and they were in the spotlight.
Queens, we love them.
Lately too, especially Amy Poehler. Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer.
What was kind of funny about it too was on that video, the Amy Schumer and Tiffany Haddish appreciation video. We love them. We mentioned a little thing in there, just a real quick little passing comment about Jada Pinkett Smith. Fun fact: that was recorded 2 weeks before the Oscars slap.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're kind of tuned in. We're tuned into the pipeline, the social pipeline.
And then also, you know how much we love Nicolas Cage too, and he's been getting a lot of notice lately. You know,
definitely.
Especially
I feel like
with his newer film too. Right now, sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
This is with 20 reviewers, which is pretty high for a film.
And that's when we're going to see soon. I can't promise what the order will be when it's released, you know, compared to our other videos, because we have some in the can already. But that's going to be when we go see soon. And you can count on a review of the incredible weight of talent, or whatever the fuck it's called. The unbearable weight of incredible talent. The new Nick Cage movie. So yeah, incredibly excited about it. But yeah, let's go check out Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch it, guys.
All right. Oh, before we go in, I know it's kind of unfair to do predictions because you already know the gist of Conan the Barbarian. But do you have like any predictions of like specific scenes that you think you're going to see that you don't already know are in the movie, or like maybe some elements or like supporting characters you hope to see?
I know there's something about like Red Sonja.
I think it's Red Sonja.
I don't know if she's gonna.
Or is it Red Sonja? I think it's Red Sonja.
I don't know if she's gonna be in it. I would like to see that. I don't really know much about Conan, to be honest. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
But I'm just ready to see Arnold like kick some ass and just be a full-on barbarian.
Yeah, and what's wild is he actually had a talk show from 1993 onward with Andy Richter. So it's pretty wild.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go watch the movie. All right. Here's James, recording the movie posters. Oh, look at him go, everyone. Secrets of Dumbledore, ambulance, woo, woo, woo. Everything, everywhere, all at once. And then the black phone, which is gonna be incredibly forgettable. Hello, James.
Hello.
Top Gun, we've been waiting on this movie for like 7 years. Come on, Tom, release it, release it.
Fountain, fountain, drinking the pee-pee.
You can hop in on this. All right, guys, so I'm incredibly excited about Tom Cruise being in Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick. But let's be honest, we've been excited about this for like 14 years.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
It's been a while.
It's finally coming in.
And at this point, like, maybe they got Val Kilmer in some reshoots, because like he's been healing from his cancer for like quite a few years now. So I would love a Kilmer.
That'd be awesome.
I would love a little bit of Kilmer, a Kilmer cameo.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's go watch Conan the Barbarian. The Barbarian, the Barbarian. All right, guys, so we just got done seeing Conan the Barbarian on the big screen as a Tuesday night classic. Now, what I will say is, growing up, I was a bigger Conan the Destroyer fan. The sequel fan I'm much more familiar with. I've watched more times. This one still had a little bit of nostalgia, but I didn't remember a lot of it. I remembered some of the executions, some of the titty scenes. I remembered lots of titties. I remember bits and pieces, but it's not one that I remember as clearly as the Destroyer. And it's probably been a good, I'm going to say 11, 12 years since I've watched Conan the Barbarian at all. And since I've seen it all the way through, probably 15 plus years. So yeah, cool to go see.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing the film, and I thought it, like, originally I thought it was gonna be like a really cheese fest. Every time I heard about it and I thought about it or saw little scenes and snippets, like I said earlier in the video, I thought it would just look stupid, but after watching it, this is fun. This is a fun Arnold movie.
It's a good movie.
A lot of great, because of course practical effects and the blood was awesome. Action was fun, and just I didn't realize it had a lot of magic in it too, which was really cool.
Which is cool.
So it's a fun like Arnold movie, which I really enjoyed. I am actually looking forward to watching Destroyer. I've never seen it.
You've never seen The Destroyer?
Never seen it.
Okay, so here's my thing. As good as this movie is, especially being the first one and being the first one that put Arnie on the map, growing up, always a bigger Destroyer fan. So like, I think you're really gonna enjoy Conan the Destroyer. But also, it's been over a decade since I've watched that.
I mean, I thought this was gonna be like I said, like shit.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's good. Like even like the set design, like
set design was fantastic.
It's amazing in here. Like
yeah,
this is like a big budget film back then.
It was.
It was really massive
for 1982, and especially for being Arnold's first leading man role of a film of this size. They did pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it earlier on too. Didn't realize it was a Universal film.
Yeah, I didn't realize
that. That's pretty cool. I mean, we love Universal.
We do love Universal. But yeah, this one for me, it's like, yeah, of course, over time, you know, you see the things that don't hold up and you see how some of the effects don't translate as well. But that's time. That's looking back on any older film. And yeah, there were some cheesy parts for sure. Yeah. But what do you expect? It's Conan the Barbarian. It's based on a comic book.
That's what I mean. I appreciate for us. Like, we put our nostalgia goggles on.
Of course.
We don't just treat it like, you know, like how it was filmed back then. It's like, it's amazing what they did and well, the camera tricks and stuff, even with like the little spirit things like coming after.
Yeah, pre-CGI.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I mean, that was 40 years ago.
It's probably what they did in Ghostbusters, how they probably got some tricks from that movie itself. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this one, this was a good one for me. I think just full scope, everything, I'm going to give this a 3.6. I think with nostalgia, it's I want to rate it higher, but just being a bigger Conan the Destroyer fan, I'm going to go 3.6. But it's a great movie. This is a great movie. This is classic Arnold. What do you think?
I'm going to give it a 3.5 as well. I mean, well, here's 3.6, but I'm going to give it a 3.5. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a great film, great Arnold movie. Look forward for the sequel.
Yeah, I really want you to watch the sequel. It's a blast.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It's a good one. And what else was I going to say? I think there's something else I wanted to talk about when I was watching the movie. John Milius, who directed this, there's a really good documentary you can watch. I forget what it's on. You have to look online. But it's just called Milius, M-I-L-I-U-S. And it's all about his career, his life. He directed Red Dawn, and he wrote parts of Apocalypse Now. I don't think he wrote the whole thing, but he like co-wrote Apocalypse Now. Really interesting guy. He's still around. He's actually still around. I think he had a stroke like 10 years ago, so he stopped making films, unfortunately. But he's still around. And really interesting character who I think doesn't get enough love overall in the film community, you know, but pretty legendary dude.
I mean, for how old that movie, a lot of those guys in that film are still around, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, James Earl Jones, Arnie. I don't know about the Master Yoshi guy, but one of my favorite characters. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, this was a solid film. If you guys have not seen Conan the Barbarian, go back and check it out, and of course check out The Destroyer, and go back and revisit Arnie's early stuff, because there's some fun stuff out there.
We're gonna watch another one on the NOX podcast too.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. So anyway, guys, remain unfazed and be kind.
Rewind
and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, 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 All right, so about halfway through the movie, had to go to the bathroom. You know, I'd been holding it, had to go sit down, take a number 2. So as I'm doing the dose, sitting down there, minding my own business, playing on my phone, I hear some guy talking to himself on the end stall. He's like singing along to some song. He's making these noises back there, like slapping noises. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He sounded crazy, right? Anyway, then he starts talking on his phone and he hangs up. And then I hear him get out and he starts talking to, all the while I'm in the stall, right? I hear him talking to one of the employees here at the Harkins movie theater. And the guy's like, how you doing? He's like, good, man. And this is what the guy says. He says, we're all gonna die. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, get ready to die. And I'm like, oh my God, am I about to witness a mass shooting as I'm in the shitter, you know? So I'm like trying to wrap up real quick, clean up and get out of there. And this guy's like, you know, the guy that works there, he's like, well, what makes you say that, man? And the guy's like, oh, I've been having these premonitions, I've been having these dreams, you know, the end is near, the end is gonna happen. He's like, we're all gonna die this year. And I'm like, oh shit, is this guy gonna shoot up the theater, right? So I flush the toilet, I pull my pants up, I get ready to go out there, I peek out, I see him, he's got a bag, like a little bigger than a laptop bag, but like a substantial sized bag on the side of the sink. He's washing his hands. I'm like, of course he has a bag, of course, like of course, how could he not, right? So I go to the far end, wash my hands, I'm looking at this guy. Luckily there's 2 Harkins employees in there, but I mean, they're not gonna do anything, they're like 19. And anyway, this guy continues talking about end times and death and having these premonitions. And I'm like, okay, if this fucker pulls a gun, I'm gonna have to tackle him or bolt, you know? Anyway, so luckily he finishes up, he gets his thing, his bag, and he leaves. He leaves the theater. Or I peek out the door, he leaves the restroom. And then I see him go towards the main lobby and leave. And I'm like, okay, cool, I feel safe going back to the movies to watch the rest of it. But scared the hell out of me. Honestly, while I'm sitting there shitting, I'm like, okay, this is like the worst situation to be in if a gunman comes in here. You know what I mean? At least if it happens like near you, you can fight back or run or do something, you know, have a couple of options. But if you're stuck in a shitter, just stuck in the stall, I mean, you're out of luck. You're like the dude in Jurassic Park that gets eaten by the T-Rex. You know, you have no options. Or like the scene in Halloween where, you know, Michael drops the teeth over. Anyway, yeah, so luckily nothing happened, but man, what a freaking psychopath. Like, what? Come on. Could I just go to the bathroom in peace without a psychopath? Is that too much to ask? All right, guys, remain unfazed, be kind, rewind, subscribe. You know what to do.